All right, thanks, guys. The Wild take on the Penguins, and that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in the Steel City. The Penguins are minus 170, totals at 6. We haven't seen a whole lot of movement on the total, but we did see a nickel fade of Pittsburgh in the early wagering. They open a $1.75 down to 170. Total open and remains at 6 goals even. 69% are leaning Pittsburgh, 57% shaded toward the under. Right now, Minnesota's plus 150 on the road, Pittsburgh plus 150 on the puck line. We have Jerry for the Penguins, Dubnik for Minnesota. Pittsburgh 16-5-3 at home this year, top 5 in goals allowed at home as well. Meanwhile, Minnesota's dropped 5 out of their last 6. They also rank in the bottom 5 in offensive shots. Now, 3 out of Pittsburgh's last 3 games all went over the total. I'm going to lean Pittsburgh minus $1.70 and the over 6 goals in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Tuesday's NHL action, but before we dive into that, just want to give a big congratulations to my Patreon members who went 4-2 yesterday on our premium picks on that website. Another winning day for us on that site, and that's going to improve our record to a perfect 4-0 in our last 4 daily best plays on that site. If you're not linked up to Patreon, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're certainly costing yourself some money and valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Bruins taking on the Blue Jackets, 7 o'clock Columbus. Boston's minus 140, totals 5.5. 61% are leaning Columbus, 52% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Blue Jackets are plus $1.25 on the money line. Boston plus $1.80, laying the goal and a half. We have Rask for Boston, Merzlikins for Columbus. The Blue Jackets rank in the bottom 5 in scoring. They're also averaging just 2.6 goals per contest on their home ice. Boston 27-8-12 on the year, top 5 in road scoring. Columbus 16-7 to the under on their home ice as well. I'm going to lean Boston minus $1.40 and the under 5.5 in that game. Next matchup, Detroit taking on the Islanders, 7 o'clock Long Island. The Islanders are minus 245, total 5.5. We saw a 15-cent fade of New York in the early betting. They opened 260 down to 245, totals 5.5. 73% leaning toward New York. 71% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Red Wings are plus 210 on the money line. New York plus 105 on the puck line. We have Grice for the Islanders, Howard for the Red Wings. New York's 14-5-3 at home, top 3 in goals allowed. Detroit's last in scoring, last in goals allowed, just 4-16-2 away from home. Total-wise, the Islanders 2-1 at the over in their last trio of games. Give me the Islanders minus 1.5 and the over 5.5 in that contest. Next game, Golden Knights taking on the Sabres, and that'll be a 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Buffalo. The Golden Knights open 155 up to 165, totals at 6, 58% on the Sabres, 67% on the over. Right now, Buffalo's plus 145 on the money line. The Golden Knights are plus 155 on the puck line. We have Fleury for the Golden Knights, Ullmark for the Sabres. We're looking at a Golden Knights squad who's struggling on the puck line away from home, just 9-12 against the spread when traveling. They're also losers of their last 3 straight games. Buffalo, on the other side, they rank in the top 10 in home scoring. They're also 13-6-3 on their home ice this year. 7 out of Vegas' last 9 games did get over the total. Give me Buffalo plus 1.5 and the over 6 goals in that game. Next contest, Kings taking on the Lightning, and that is going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Tampa. The Lightning open 290 down to minus 280, totals at 6, 69% leaning Tampa Bay, 55% shaded toward the over. Right now the Kings are plus 240 on the money line, Tampa Bay minus 105 on the puck line. We have Vasilevsky for the Lightning, Quick for the Kings. Tampa Bay's 14-7-2 at the Amalie Arena. They're also 9-1 straight up in their last 10 games. They rank first in the NHL in home scoring. The Kings, on the other side, losers of 7 out of their last 10. They're also just 7-15-3 on the road, one of the worst road teams in the NHL. Total-wise, Tampa's 17-6 to the over at the Amalie Arena as well. Give me Tampa Bay minus 1.5 and the over 6 goals in that contest. Next game, Devils taking on the Maple Leafs. 7 o'clock, Toronto. The Leafs open 245 up to minus 260, total 6.5. 51% leaning toward the Devils, 69% on the over. Right now, the Devils are plus 220 on the money line. Toronto minus $1.10 on the puck line. We have Anderson for Toronto, Domingue for New Jersey. Toronto ranks at the top 3 in scoring, top 10 in offensive shots. New Jersey, on the other side, they're just 17, 21, and 7 overall for the year. They also rank in the bottom 5 in scoring on average per game. Toronto, on the other side, 27 and 19 to the over for the year. Give me the Maple Leafs minus 1.5 and the over 6.5 in that contest. Next game, Blackhawks taking on the Senators, 7:30, Ottawa. The Blackhawks open 105 up to minus 110, total 6.5. 67% are leaning Chicago's, 52% shaded toward the under. Right now, Ottawa's minus 102 on the money line, Chicago plus 220 on the puck line. We have Lehner for the Blackhawks, Hoberg for Ottawa. Ottawa's lost their last 7 straight, losses to Detroit and New Jersey during that stretch. They're also averaging just 2.6 goals per contest. Meanwhile, Chicago, on the other side, winners of 5 out of their last 8. Victories against Calgary and Colorado within their last 10. Ottawa's also 5-2 to the over in their last 7 as well. Give me Chicago minus $1.10 and the over 6.5 in that contest. Next matchup, Canucks versus Winnipeg, 8 o'clock Eastern puck drop. The Jets open $1.25 up to 130, total 6.5. That was a bad one. 54% leaning Jets, 55% shaded toward the under. Vancouver's plus $1.10 on the money line. Winnipeg plus $1.80, laying the goal and a half. We have Hellebuck for the Jets, Markstrom for the Canucks. Winnipeg's 8-14 against the spread at home, just 3-7 straight up in their last 10. They also rank in the bottom 3 in home scoring. Vancouver, on the other side, winners of 8 out of their last 10. They also rank in the top 10 in scoring. 3 out of Vancouver's last 4 did get over the total. They're also 15-9 to the over when traveling. Give me Vancouver plus $1.10 and the over 6.5 in that contest. Next game, Nashville taking on the Oilers, 9 o'clock Edmonton. The Predators open $1.10 up to minus 120, total 6.5. 63% are leaning Oilers, 54% shaded toward the over. Right now, Edmonton is catching even money on the money line. Nashville plus $2 on the puck line. We have Rene for the Preds, Smith for the Oilers. Edmonton's 4-2 in their last 6. Victories against Toronto and Boston during that stretch. Meanwhile, Nashville's dropped 5 out of their last 8 themselves. They rank in the bottom 10 in goals allowed, and they're also 16-6 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean Edmonton plus $1 and the over 6.5 in that contest. Next game, Sharks taking on the Coyotes, and that's going to be a 9 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Arizona. The Coyotes open $1.45 down to 135, totals 5.5. 69% leaning toward Arizona, 70% shaded toward the over. Right now the Sharks are plus $1.15 on the money line. Arizona plus $1.85 on the puck line. We have Hill for the Coyotes, Jones for the Sharks. Arizona ranks in the top 3 in goals allowed. They're giving up just 2.6 goals per contest on their home ice. Meanwhile, the Sharks on the other side, they rank in the bottom 3 in offensive shots. They're also in the bottom 10 in goals allowed. Now the Sharks are 13-9 to the under when traveling. I'm going to lean Arizona minus 135 and the under 5.5 in that game. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Dallas taking on the Avalanche, 9 o'clock Colorado. The Avalanche are minus 140, totals 5.5. 61% leaning Colorado, 74% toward the over. Right now, Dallas is plus $1.20 on the money line. Colorado plus 170 on the puck line. We have Grubauer for the Avalanche, Bishop for the Stars. Now, Colorado's lost their last 3 straight games. They've also dropped 7 out of their last 10. Outright losses to the likes of the Rangers, Minnesota, and Chicago during that stretch. Colorado also ranks in the bottom 5 in goals allowed on their home ice. Dallas, on the other side, they're first in the NHL in goals allowed. They've also been victorious in 6 out of their last 7 games. Colorado 15-6 of the over on their home ice. Give me Dallas plus $1.20 and the over 5.5 goals in that game. And folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 4-2 yesterday in our premium picks on that site. We're currently 4-0 in our last 4 daily best plays on that site as well. We do daily premium sports picks on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. Now, you might be wondering, well, why would I buy a package when you just literally handicap the entire slate of NHL games right here on YouTube for free? That's true, I did do that. However, you don't know which games I'm actually playing. And the problem with betting every single game on the board, both the side and the total, is the math becomes grossly against you when you do that. The math is really against you. The books are way too smart. They're way too sharp. It's just way too many games to bet on. So what I do on Patreon is I really narrow it down and focus in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're games that I personally have action on. My current Patreon record is dynamic. It's a lot better than it is on YouTube, throwing darts, handicapping every single game. And like I said, if you're not connected to Patreon right now, you're hurting yourself. You're costing yourself valuable information and money as we are starting to get really hot right now on that website. Once again, link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I do have to thank you for joining me here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoy all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.